Hi, it's Andrew here from Pink Cake Princess. I'm going to show you how to make the Flash Cupcakes. This is a YouTube collaboration with CakesByChoppA, so watch until the end of the video for the link to ChoppA's cake tutorial. Okay, so which is your favourite DC comic hero? Don't forget to let me know at the end of the video. And if you do like these cupcakes, please subscribe and throw me a comment. Okay, so here's a snapshot of some of the tools and equipment you will need. More details in the description of the video. And I'm just showing you the templates that I've cut out of paper with the scissors. Link to the templates also in the description. Okay, so now I'm going to ice my cupcakes. I'm going to use 3 cupcakes in total. And I'm just using my palette knife to smooth some buttercream over it. Just smoothing it out and getting a semi-domed finish at the top. I'm going to do that 3 times, so I'll have 3 cupcakes. Okay, I'm going to use some pre-coloured fondant, which you can get from your local supermarket. There's also more details in the description on fondant. Okay, so I'm rolling out my red fondant with my non-stick rolling pin and chopping board, and I'm also dusting it with some corn flour so it doesn't stick. Now using my circle cutter, I've cut out a disc and lifted up with my palette knife, then I've placed it onto my cupcake, smoothing it over. Okay, I'm going to do that a couple more times and I'll have 3 cupcakes covered. Okay, so now I've got some rolled out white fondant, and using my smaller circle cutter, I'm cutting out a disc of fondant. I'm going to let it dry. Okay, so I'm using my template now. I'm going to use my little really pointy crafts knife to cut out the shape of the eye. Okay, so if you find your fondant a little bit sticky while you're cutting it out, just leave your fondant for a little while once it's rolled out to dry. Once it's semi-dried, then it's easier to actually cut out. I'm used to just cutting out my fondant straight away, so I'm just showing you here without waiting for it to dry. Now, cutting the second eye, I've just used the same template but just reversed it over so I can get the second portion of the eye. Okay, so that's it. Lift your template up and then put your eyes aside to set for a little while. Okay, so onto the front of the face, the bottom half of the face. This is the template that I use. I'm using some flesh coloured or skin coloured fondant that's been rolled out. Now you can get this colour by just adding a dash of brown food colouring with your white fondant. Okay, so that's it there. Using my palette knife to lift it up. It is a little bit fragile because it is soft, so just leave it aside to dry. Okay, so I've rolled out some yellow fondant. Now it is looking a little bit pale here, so if you want you can make the fondant a little bit darker in colour. Okay, so I've rolled out one section which I've left to dry, and the other section I'm going to use to cut out the lightning bolt with the template that I have. Okay, so I'm using my really pointy crafts knife again. I'm just going to cut out all the sections so that I can create the lightning bolt. Okay, I try not to drag the knife because that can stretch the fondant. I mean, sometimes you just have to drag it, but if I can, I try to cut it straight down. And there you have it. That's the lightning bolt done. Just carefully lifting it up and then putting it aside. Okay, so now I'm using my smaller template. I'm just gonna use my palette knife to cut around the template, and then I'm going to use my really pointy crafts knife to cut all the little details. Okay, now you're going to do this twice. This is the first part. The second part you do exactly the same thing, except you're just going to reverse the template again to get the other side of the face. Okay, this bit's going to be part of the lightning bolt around the ears on the face. Okay, and that's it. That's one of it done. Okay, so now I'm using the strip of yellow fondant that I left earlier to semi-set. Now I'm using my they're called FMM brand cutters, and this style is block letters and it's in capitals. Now if you don't have these letters, you don't have to do this bit, or you can just pipe it on with a piping bag and a piping tip. Okay, so there you go, there's the letters done. Now I'm just going to stick the portions onto the cupcakes using a little bit of water and a little brush. Okay, you can also use edible glue, but in this case the water will do. Okay, so just putting on a little bit more water just to glue on the eyes. It would be a good idea if you put all the bits onto the cupcake just to make sure they are in the portions that you want. because once you stick it on, it's a little bit hard to actually lift it up and move it, because once the water's on there, it's already tacky and it already sticks. Okay, so there you go. The face is starting to take shape. It's not meant to be the complete face, it's just meant to represent the flash. Okay, so that's it there. Okay, so now I'm just going to stick on the circle disc, and then I'm going to stick on the lightning bolt, and that's my second cupcake done. Okay, now onto the third cupcake. At this stage I've realised I've forgotten to cut out the circle for the centre of this cupcake, so I've just gone and done that. Now I'm going to glue it on with some water, and then I'm just going to glue on all the letters. Now the letters I've let set for a few minutes so that they're not so fragile when I lift it up to move it around or to glue it on. So once you cut out your letters, try not to play around with them so much, because they are very thin and they'll stretch out. And like I said, if you don't have these letters, you don't have to do this bit. You can either just pipe it on with a piping bag and a piping tip, or you can just leave this cupcake out together, all out together if you don't have the cutters. The cutters you can probably track down in any cake decorating supply shop, or you can also track them down on eBay as well. Okay, so here I am just using a little bit of black food dye. I'm using a toothpick to paint on the letters THE for the flash. Okay, my fondant is a little bit sticky, so it's just cutting into the fondant a tiny little bit. If you want, you can just wait for the fondant to set a little bit before you paint on it. Okay, so that's it. That's the 3 cupcakes completed. I hope you guys like it, and don't forget to tell me who your favourite DCM comic hero is, and don't forget to subscribe and check out ChoppA's Cakes for his lovely cake tutorial in the Flash as well. Thanks, ChoppA, and you guys take care. Bye for now.